Your Google Page Speed score from Google's Page Speed Insights tool is one of the most visible scores for a website owner, especially after all the new updates and changes to the rating system. Receiving a low score in red means your website isn't up to standards, and if you're watching this video, you probably know the feeling.
But you don't have to sit alone in those feelings. We have 10 practical steps to get a perfect page speed score on Google. However, you should know a good page speed does not equal a good user experience. As a site owner, you should care more about the consistent speed improvements because studies show that improving your load time by just 0.1 second can boost conversion rates by 8%.
With that said, let's take a look at those steps. Now, I would say upgrading to a dedicated hosting plan at a reliable provider is probably the first step to take if you're serious about web performance. The investment in dedicated hosting is considerably more than shared hosting plan, but the benefits of fast loading times, high uptime availability, security, and support is well worth it. There's no solution that can overcome bad hosting, so consider the investment and select your foundations from which your website is built on carefully.
Now you'll want to select a lightweight theme. If you're on a CMS like WordPress, selecting a lightweight website theme is vital to load speed. Basically, the more server requests and the larger a page file size may be, you guessed it, the longer it may take to deliver your theme and site content to a user. That's why a poorly written website theme can significantly increase your website's load time.
And you'll want to think about purging your plugins. So installing additional plugins can also add significant overhead to your server and end up increasing load times. Try researching plugins and monitoring your site's performance using lab data after adding or deactivating each one.
Now let's talk about your website's JavaScript. So reducing and optimizing your website's JavaScript, otherwise known as eliminate render blocking resources, isn't a quick fix, and it will require an experienced developer to analyze your website's code. But there are several all-in-one plugins that can help minify or defer your JavaScript. Pro tip, I got this from Neely, it's always best to test these plugins in a staging environment before deployment to production.
But on top of this, make sure you optimize your images. Now, optimizing images is a little less of a technical change and easier to do for business owners than optimizing JavaScript, thankfully. Now, reducing the image size or deferring off-screen images, or lazy loading as it's commonly called, can also improve that mobile experience and decrease bandwidth usage on your site. Speeding it up.
When a website loads information like static content, a CSS file, external resources, scripts, and more needs to be requested. Browser caching gives a web browser the choice of retrieving that information from a previously stored version or the server and makes a big difference in terms of how quickly a web page loads. And to see a boost in page speed scores, enable browser caching using an all-in-one plugin, a specific caching plugin, or a managed hosting service.
The next, we recommend setting up a content delivery network, or CDN. Now, these cache images and content, which enables pages to load more quickly for users accessing your web pages with larger resources. Check with your web host to see if you have access to a CDN, and if so, see if it can be enabled to help address these slow loading pages.
Let's talk about code minification and compression. So minifying code is particularly useful for HTML, CSS, and JavaScript files because unnecessary or redundant data is removed without affecting how the resource is processed by a web browser. And if all of that sounds a little too technical, I know it does for me, many plugins today offer code minification and compression as a feature.
And while PageSpeed Insights is the most visible speed testing tool for small businesses, there are several other performance tools that can offer different perspectives on how to improve page speed. Some options include Test My Site and Chrome Developer Tools, to name a few.
Even if you do all of the steps perfectly, you still might not get that 100 out of 100 on your own. An all-in-one service that combines caching, image optimization, lazy loading, code minification, and compression for you could be what gets your site to perfection. Unfortunately, there's no quick fix for Google PageSpeed scores. If you are a DIY business owner who's comfortable with diving into the details of your website, now you have a checklist to make your website faster and get close to a perfect 100 score.
Or if these steps are just a bit over your head or low on your priority list, contact your friendly neighborhood web developer so they can do the job for you. That is a wrap, but your journey doesn't have to end here. I promise you, we have over 200 videos for you to continue watching and learning.
Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching. This is The Journey.